Okay, so this is the VK7501K. It's just been released today, and let's just dive straight into this. Now, this is a rear-turreted heavy tank, and it has a really nice gun. It has 490 alpha with 226 pen. Now, this 226 pen is nothing special, but obviously that's good enough for tier 8. Having said that, it also gets 263 pen on the APCR round, so that's really nice. You know, you're not going to have any issues when you come up against super heavies. Especially the fact that you are going to meet super heavies, given that this is a tier 8 and you want to be close quarters. Armor wise, it's actually really nice. It's very well balanced. You know, this is not another defender. This is a great tank. As you can see here, it might have this like kind of lip out like the Panzer 7 has, but this doesn't actually give you any less armor. This will do exactly the same as if it's just completely flat. This doesn't exist basically in the armor render. I've been hit here and I've been hit here, and they haven't penned apart from, you know, when I've been over angling it. So really, this you can side scope effectively with this tank. The only downside is that it has a massive cupola here. So really, you want to try and side scope where it's faced like this. So if you can get the tank where it's like this, and then he's pointing the gun at you, then you're in a good position. They will be able to pen you here with APCR rounds. You know, anything over 250 pen will go straight through. So tier 10s will be able to pen you straight through here. But I mean, that's not too bad of an issue, because you're going to meet tier 8s most of the time, and you're only going to meet some tier 10s. So really, it has solid armor. One thing that I will say, I don't know whether this machine gun port is a weak spot. I don't think it is. But if it is, then honestly, just pen it there every time. So if you're looking to pen something, then pen it there. But if it's not, then obviously just ignore it. I haven't really been penned here too much. I think it's mainly because of the massive cupola, so people are just going to shoot that. But if you shoot the lower plate, you have a chance that you're going to damage the engine and then set it on fire. So having said that, I would not advise using chocolate. Always use automatic fire extinguisher. Yes, you're going to lose some reload time. Yes, you're going to lose, you know, basically that extra percentage of your skill for your crew, but really it's worth it, because this tank gets its engine knocked out all the time, and it will have an engine fire more than likely, especially if something that's high caliber will shoot straight through you. You know, if you have an E100 that pens you there, you're not going to have a good time. Overall, I mean, the tank looks really nice, in my opinion at least. Like, I've been waiting for this tank for a very long time. I saw that it was announced a few months ago now, but you know, it cropped up on the news websites and stuff, so I was really looking forward to having this tank, and it doesn't really disappoint. If we actually compare it to some of the other tanks that are in the tech tree and, you know, that you can get, straight away you want to compare it to Lava, because that's the other tier 8 premium heavy tank for the German tech tree. And as you can see, it has 490 alpha compared to 320, which is nice. You know, this 490 alpha really does, yeah, sure, it's got a longer reload, but 490, when someone comes around that corner and they're tier 10, having a 490 gun hit them, they're going to know it. Whereas if you do like 300 damage, they're not really going to know too much, especially in a super heavy. But you can shave off like 550 damage with one hit. Like that's really nice to have, especially in close quarters, as I've said, which is where you're going to be using this tank. It's not a sniping tank, as you can tell by the 0.37 accuracy. It's not like the Lava. You're not going to get this down to close to 0.30, and you know, this tank is very much a brawling heavy. Armor wise, you know, the Lava is a hold down monster, and you're never going to beat it in a hold down position, because that turret is awesome, and then that not so much. You know, if you're fighting a Lava and you're both hold down, the Lava is going to win. Like, it doesn't matter if it has lower HP, you know, alpha damage. It's going to beat you, because you've got a big old cupola and he's not got a big old cupola. Sure, you can pen it there, but it's not going to happen most of the time. Another thing the Lava has going for it is its gun depression. Even around the side of the tank, this tank doesn't have any gun depression. It's got -5, and you know, that's not really very good. You're not going to be able to go on ridge lines that much. It's not going to be a tank that you can kind of compete with other medium tanks if they're, you know, circling you or anything like that. It's a slow tank. It's not got too much view range. I mean, compared to the Lava, the Lava has insane view range. It's got 400. So, I mean, that I wouldn't be too worried about that. It's got okay view range. It's obviously not awful like the ISM, which we're now going to move on to. The ISM, I don't really know how this is the same tier tank compared to the VK, because if you look at it, it has less alpha, sure, that's fine, but it does have a lower reload, that's fine. It has less pen. I mean, it even has these rounds that only have 240 damage for the actual APCR rounds. Whose idea was that? Like, it's 212 that and then 240. Okay. It really makes the ISM look bad, because this tank, I would say, is good for how nowadays World of Tanks is. It's got a weak spot, which is great, because if this thing didn't have a weak spot, everyone would be complaining, and yeah, it's awful, because it'd just be overpowered. But this tank does have a weak spot, and you can pen it, and it's got a good gun, it's balanced, and it's not like the Skoda where it has, you know, bad premium rounds, so it can't do anything against tier 10s. It can do. It's a nice, well-balanced tank, and thank God Wargaming has finally decided to add something into the game that is balanced. Speed-wise, yeah, just forget it. You're not going to get anywhere fast. I mean, look at that. Yeah, you're just not going to get anywhere fast. It's not a fast tank. And, I mean, concealment, well, it's a heavy tank. Just forget about it. But, I mean, really, like, compared to these three, you can trade blows with the Lava, but you're never going to beat it hold down. And an ISM, you can just bully it. So, I mean, that's really it. I'm not going to, you know, waste time. You want to put vert stabs, code optics, and gun rammer on it. I wouldn't advise vents, because it does have lower view range than the Lava, so you want to really boost the view range up as much as you can. And yeah, let's get into some gameplay then. Okay then, here we are in Paris. And honestly, one of the better maps for this tank. I've had Prokhorov for a few times, and that was interesting. Got a draw, and that was not very fun to play, to be honest, because I just sat in the middle of the map trying to get spotting damage and stuff like that, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, thank God we're on Paris. But straight away, obviously, we want to go over to the heavy corner, and yeah, this gun, firing on the move, I would not recommend it, especially at that range. It's just not going to happen. Like, just don't worry about trying to fire on the move. Even with vert stabs, you're not going to do it. This Batchat just wants to die, so we gladly accept and smash him one for 506. You know, if someone wants to just give themselves to the enemy, go for it. You know, I mean, to be fair, that Batchat could have had a good game. He could have gone into the middle, got spotted some stuff. He didn't have to just go on suicide, but then there you go. You know, some people just don't want to play the game when they get these maps. So we're now going to move on to the actual heavy corner. Now, I'm not going to go and set up at the top, because there's no real point. 53 TP, or 50 TP, sorry. He's not going to do anything. You know, we try to angle it a little bit. He can pen the lower plate. I mean, near enough every tank can pen the lower plate in this game. So, I mean, we're just going to try and bait some shots. I'm going to track him. He's getting blocked by the 110. And we just try and keep him tracked there. Now, as you can see, we're not really side scraping, and I could be, but if I then choose to side scrape against this 50 TP prototype, I'm then going to open myself up to the Pantera that's still left there. So there's no real point of doing this. We might as well just be, you know, trying to go around the corner, trying to, you know, bounce some shots like we're doing now. And now we're going to move on to the 110, because this 50 TP, he didn't have a clue. You know, he was tracked. I don't think he wanted to use his repair kit, or he didn't even have one. I'm not too sure what's going on there. But, you know, he just didn't want to do it. Maybe use his repair kit on the first shot. But, you know, at this stage, up there, I would never advise people to go up there where that VK 101p is, because you can't do anything for your team when they're actually down in the dip. So this 110 and this 50 TP, they couldn't do anything. You know, like, he's basically useless to the team up there. And now he's just going to get farmed for all of his hit points, just like that. You know, we high roll, luckily, but, you know, that's not even too much of a high roll, since it does have 490 damage. You know, so this tank is really, really nice. Skoda's trying to run away. Unfortunately, we don't get the kill on the VK, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Luckily, we're actually quite lucky that I did go in, because most of the time that misses. And now, right, so this T69, he is the bane of my existence in this game, and in a minute you'll see why. Now, the T69 has an interesting turret. It kind of has half of it really good armor, and then half of it not good armor. And you'll see just from me shooting it, well, where the good armor and the bad armor is. Yeah, a bit of a hint. I don't hit the good armor. I don't hit the bad armor, sorry. But I mean, as you can see, we've racked up 3.5k damage, and you know, we just slaughtered the enemy. You know, could you do this in a lurver? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I mean, you might have even done it better in a lurver. At this stage of the game, to be fair, I'd rather be in a lurver, because that T69 wouldn't have been able to shoot at me near enough at all, because I would have been basically he can only see my hull at the moment, sorry, my turret at the moment. So in the lurver, you know, this would have been even harder for him to do it. This shot, I don't know what happened there. Like, it's just, yeah, and at this stage he's just firing heat, so yeah, you can't really do anything against that. As you can see, I hit everywhere on his turret apart from the bad armor. So honestly, if I had hit him maybe once or twice more, I would have got an ace tanker. And that's why I showed this replay rather than trying to keep hunting, because I did keep hunting. I played like, this was I think my 4th game, and I kept hunting for it, but it didn't happen. So this is why I'm showing this game. It shows kind of everything about the tank, the good, the bad, you know. It's a good replay to kind of demonstrate of what the tank can do. Okay, so we did get a first class ace tanker, you know, it doesn't matter. However, I mean, if we had hit this T69 like 2 more times and gone to maybe 4k damage, we would have probably got the ace tanker overall. We did get take home, you know, 144k credits, which is pretty decent, to be honest. We were running a credit booster, obviously, but, you know, fire extinguisher, you know, you're going to earn a lot more credits over time. So yeah, that's why I recommend a fire extinguisher. Not only are you going to save your tank from being set on fire so much, but also you're going to earn a lot more credits over the course of several battles. So if you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. I'll see you in a bit.